The origin of music in Africa. Music is an essential part of human culture and social interaction, and nowhere is this more evident than in Africa. The continent is often referred to as the birthplace of music, boasting a rich and diverse musical heritage that dates back thousands of years. African music is not just a form of entertainment, but a vital part of cultural rituals, social functions, communication, and storytelling. This documentary explores the origins of music in Africa, tracing its development from ancient times to the present day and examining the different musical styles, instruments, and the role of music in African societies. The ancient origins of African music. Prehistoric roots. The earliest evidence of music in Africa dates back to prehistoric times. Archaeological findings, such as rock paintings and ancient instruments, suggest that music has been a fundamental part of African culture for tens of thousands of years. The discovery of flutes made from animal bones and the depiction of musical instruments in ancient rock art provide insight into the musical practices of early African societies. The role of music in early African societies. In early African societies, music was intertwined with daily life and was used in various social contexts. It played a crucial role in religious rituals, ceremonies, and communal activities. Music was also a means of communication, with specific rhythms and melodies conveying messages and stories. Ancient musical instruments. Ancient African musical instruments were diverse and sophisticated. Percussion instruments, such as drums and rattles, were predominant, but early Africans also developed stringed instruments, wind instruments, and even proto-pianos. These instruments evolved over time, reflecting the ingenuity and creativity of African musicians. The influence of African music on early civilizations. Ancient Egypt and Nubia. Ancient Egypt and Nubia, located in the northeastern region of Africa, were among the earliest civilizations to develop complex musical traditions. Egyptian tomb paintings and inscriptions reveal the importance of music in religious and social contexts. Instruments such as the sistrum, lyre, and harp were integral to Egyptian music. West African kingdoms. The Great West African kingdoms, including Ghana, Mali, and Songhai, were renowned for their rich musical heritage. Groats, or traditional storytellers and musicians, played a vital role in preserving history and culture through music. The kora, a 21-stringed harp lute, became a symbol of West African musical prowess. Bantu migrations. The Bantu migrations, which began around 1000 BC, spread musical traditions across sub-Saharan Africa. As Bantu-speaking peoples moved, they brought with them their musical instruments, styles, and practices, which blended with local traditions to create new musical forms. The diversity of African musical traditions. North African music. North Africa has a unique musical tradition influenced by Arab, Berber, and Mediterranean cultures. Instruments like the oud, canon, and darbuka are central to North African music. The region's music is characterized by complex rhythms, melodic improvisation, and a rich vocal tradition. East African music. East African music is diverse, reflecting the cultural mosaic of the region. Traditional music from countries like Ethiopia, Kenya, and Tanzania includes a variety of instruments, such as the krar, a type of lyre, the bira, thumb piano, and various types of drums. East African music often features intricate vocal harmonies and call and response patterns. Central African music. Central Africa is known for its polyphonic vocal music and the use of unique instruments like the likembe, a type of thumb piano, and the ngombai, a harp. Pygmy groups in the region are particularly noted for their complex vocal polyphony, which has fascinated ethnomusicologists for decades. Southern African music. Southern African music is characterized by its vocal styles, including isakathamia and bube, made famous by groups like Ladysmith Black Mambazo. Instruments such as the marimba and the bira are also central to the region's musical traditions. Music in southern Africa often accompanies dance and community gatherings. West African music. West African music is perhaps the most internationally recognized of all African musical traditions. The region's music is rhythmic and vibrant, featuring instruments like the djem drum, balafon, a type of xylophone, and the kora. Highlife, Afrobeat, and balax are popular modern genres that originated in West Africa. The role of music in African society. Music as communication. In many African cultures, music is a form of communication. Drumming, in particular, is used to convey messages over long distances. Talking drums can mimic the tones of human speech, allowing complex messages to be transmitted through rhythm and pitch. Music and ritual. Music is integral to religious and spiritual rituals across Africa. It is used in ceremonies to invoke spirits, celebrate life events, and mourn the dead. Ritual music often involves specific instruments and songs that have been passed down through generations. Music and social identity. Music plays a crucial role in the formation of social identity in African communities. It is a means of expressing cultural heritage, social status, and group membership. Music and dance are often used in rites of passage, such as initiations and weddings, reinforcing social bonds and cultural continuity. The impact of colonialism and the African diaspora. The impact of colonialism on African music. Colonialism had a profound impact on African music, both positive and negative. European colonizers suppressed many traditional musical practices, yet the interaction between African and European musical traditions also led to the creation of new genres and styles. Missionaries introduced Western musical instruments and education, which influenced local music. The African diaspora and global influence. The transatlantic slave trade spread African musical traditions to the Americas and the Caribbean, where they influenced the development of new musical genres such as blues, jazz, reggae, and samba. African rhythms and melodies became foundational elements of these genres, contributing to the global influence of African music. That's all for now. Goodbye and stay irie.